Bahrain Grand Prix just wrapped up and Red Bull picked up right from where they left last year. Red Bull are just flexing at this point. With 1 and 2 finish, they are off to a flyer. But let's just talk about Aston Martin. Alonso getting his 99th podium. What a transition from last year. Who would have thought that they would storm the gates like that? Alonso was cool and composed throughout the race, and the level of confidence and maturity was unbelievable. Before even getting to the checkered flag, he was asking about his teammate, Lance Stroll, who impressed with his 6th placing. Aston Martin has set fire in the paddock, with people talking about Aston Martin being favourites for fighting for the top 3. A disappointing start for Ferrari, as Leclerc came to a dramatic halt, retiring his car over technical issues. He was P3 at that moment, and Sainz finished 4th, courtesy of Alonso, who took his P3 position. Mercedes. I'm sure they would have hoped for a better result, but unfortunately, it was not the case. With Hamilton getting 5th and Russell in 7th, they managed to scramble 16 points. There's room for a lot of improvement for Mercedes because when Hamilton was fighting for P4, he was struggling to get close to Sainz, even with DRS and slipstream, and then the gap just increased. George finished as 7th, same position as he managed in qualifying. Alpine. Gasly was on fire. From the back of the grid, he managed to scoop 2 points for the team, getting P9. But his teammate, Esteban Ocon, he would love to forget that night. First, he got a 5-second penalty for starting over the start line. Second, a 10-second penalty for not serving the first penalty properly. And third, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And then, guess what? He had to retire his car due to his engine running hot due to long pit stops. You have to feel for him. It was truly frustrating for him. McLaren. Well, they had a nightmare opener. The debutant Piastri had a good start, getting 3 places in the early running, but had to retire the car because of an issue. His car failed to start after steering wheel change. I think if they had rectified that issue, it would have helped Piastri to get in some laps, which eventually would have done him good for the upcoming races. Whereas Lando finished 17th after suffering engine issue of his own and pitting 6 times to nurse the car to the finish line. Williams. A dream start to say the least. Albon earning a point and Sargent impressing with a P12 finish, making a solid debut. The challenge now for Williams is to maintain the level of performance. Alfa Romeo. Bottas ended in 8th position, climbing 4 spots, while Zhou finishing in 16th. Haas. I personally thought one of the Haas drivers to be in the top 10, but K-Mag took 13th and Nico 15th position. I expected Nico to grab some points, with him qualifying in Q3, but his time was discarded as he exceeded the track limits in qualifying and was P10, but still couldn't capitalize the position he had before the race, and also was given a half black and half white for exceeding the track limits. Red Bull's sister team Alpha Tauri. Yuki missed points by 1 position, coming in P11, whereas his teammate came in P14th. Follow the channel for more videos like this.